Welcome to Jerryberry's Friend-Tastic Library. Today we're going to talk, today I'm going to do, what am I doing today? I'm gonna do my April setup in my reading bullet journal. If you're new here, then you'll learn that this is like one of my children and I love it so much, and I've put like so much work into it, and yes, I love it. It's very chunky. It's getting very thick. I don't think it's gonna last the year because we're only through March, so it's probably only gonna last through like half the year. We'll see. Yeah, I'm just gonna show you how I set up every month. I used to do a monthly calendar in my reading bullet journal so that I could write down what I was reading on what days, and I've decided that I just don't have time to do that, and I don't want to have to worry about remembering like what day I started what book or what day I read what book. So I'm only going to do like a pretty spread where I will fill in my stats for the month of April. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I always enjoy making them because this journal, in my regular bullet journal, I need like functional and I need consistent. So I don't get very creative in my life bullet journal. In this one, I can really just like go free and go crazy and do whatever comes to mind and whatever feels good in the day. And that's why I love it so much, because it's really where all of my creativity goes. So with that said, I hope you love it as much as I do. And yeah, here we go. So I wasn't really sure what I was going to do for my April setup. I thought I wanted frogs, I thought I wanted mushrooms, and then I finally decided that I wanted to do these awesome like double doors that I had seen Amanda Rach Lee do at one point, where she did this like cottagecore frog scene in her bullet journal. So that's finally what I decided on. I even thought about putting llamas in here for a while, and then I was like, no, I don't want llamas. So I wasn't quite sure what I was going to put in as like I wasn't sure what I was going to put in the scene. I just knew that I wanted a scene with awesome wooden doors. And then like it would lead out to like a cute outdoor meadow. You can see that I struggle here trying to get like a nice rounded door. I can't really seem to get a good angle, so I eventually just kind of freehanded and do my best. I always sketch things out in pencil first. I just like to make sure that I can get the spacing right, and pencil erases, so if there's ever any mistakes, it's super easy to fix it. That's definitely my pro tip. And then I also have a separate eraser than the one that's on the pencil, just because I feel like the pencil erasers don't last long enough. So that's another pro tip, is to just buy a separate eraser that will last you forever and ever and ever. I also have to apologize for my head being in this video so much. I am still getting used to keeping my head back while I'm filming these and drawing out my my setups. So I hope you don't mind looking at my purple hair every now and then. I have never done a door like this, so I spent so much time opening it and looking at it and making sure it looked right before finally cutting. I obviously speed these videos up, they're not real time. So I don't even want to tell you how long it actually took me to look at those doors and make sure that they were exactly right before cutting them. And then ultimately, I glue them down a little bit later after I'm for sure about all of it, because I just get so much anxiety over stuff being in the right spot. The beauty about dot grid journals is it makes it really easy to count those dots to make sure everything is perfectly symmetrical. I decided to go with this cool little like double hill theme, but you can see that it took me a minute to kind of figure out how I wanted it to be placed, which is why erasers are amazing. Doing my little path, I decided to do like a little yellow brick road idea ultimately, with like two hills. And then I have a ton of stickers from Notebook Therapy, And that's kind of what I've been using to fill in. I thought for a little bit that I would throw some of these puffy llama stickers on there because I got them as a gift recently for my birthday and I really wanted to use them. But I realized that they would just make my journal way too bulky and there's really nowhere to fit it to make it look nice. So I decided to go with my notebook therapy stickers instead. I am finally making the leap to glue the back of those doors down so that they lay nice and flat. And that's where I was totally committed to this idea and I started picking out my colors. I'm using Tombow dual brush pens, and then I'm also using Archer and Olive calligraphs? Calligraphs? Yeah. They're also like a brush pen from Archer and Olive. And then I have the brand new Amanda Rach Lee set, plus I put all my other acrylographs in there from Archer and Olive. So I pick out one of those to add some details to my door. I also started looking at my other stickers that I had instead of those llama stickers and picking those out. I love doing wood grain with my Tombows or any brush pen really because you can make it look like wood grain so easily in my opinion, and all you're doing is coloring. I also have been in a phase where I don't need perfection and I kind of just have Bob Ross's voice playing in my head where it's like, just make your door happy, just color a happy little door. So none of the lines are perfectly straight. I go outside of the lines for sure. You know, I don't know. I've just been feeling like the chaos is calming at this point in my life. So, but you can definitely see how easy it is to almost make it look like a wood grain whenever you color with those Tombows or any brush pen. Same thing with my little yellow brick road concept. I did a very messy color. I didn't worry too much about staying in lines or making it absolutely perfect. And then I decided to go with 2 different greens for the 2 different hills so that they would kind of stand out from each other. There's a cool technique with the Tombows as well where you can kind of layer them in a way so that you get like the texture that you want. I do it very messily. I'm nowhere near a professional, but that's why I kind of do these crosses across the grass just to make it look more like a actual textured grass rather than just brush strokes up from the brush pen. That's just my personal aesthetic choice. You definitely don't have to do anything like that at all. I also decided just to keep everything super duper simple. I didn't do any crazy doodles. I didn't print out any cool pictures to paste in. I just did the simple 2-hill scene with blue sky. The end. I thought about adding a sun and clouds and adding little animals. I thought about adding birds, but at the end of the day I was like, nope, I'm just gonna color it because that's what I want to do, and I'll put stickers in later and call it a day. So that's what I did. This wasn't my favorite choice for the wall. I wanted kind of like a nice gray stucco wall, and then I realized that I don't actually have gray. So I went with this like beige, tannish, yellowish color, and it wasn't really my favorite, but at the end of the day I don't hate it, so it's all good. This is what I used that acrylograph on that I picked out for my Amanda Rach Lee tin. This is from the Metallics collection of Archer and Olive, and the color is called Graphite. So I use this to make to color in those metal details. If you check out my video where I create a bookmark and fill in some of my reading bullet journal, I give just a really quick intro of using acrylographs or paint pens. So if you are curious about those or interested in them, you can always check out that video. I'll link it in the description. You can also check out Archer and Olive on Instagram and YouTube, and they have really good videos and tips as well for aftercare, troubleshooting, how to store them properly, all of that stuff. I'm obsessed with Archer and Olive, and I've just been slowly adding to my supplies collection as the year has gone by. Okay, so now that all the coloring is done, I just go through with a micron fine liner just to loosely outline some of that stuff so that it pops out a little bit more, especially like the walkways and stuff. I wanted like a cobblestone feel, so I just messily drew in some oblong rock shapes so it would look a little bit more like a cobblestone or yellow brick road vibe. I had no plan for this. I literally just went to town drawing it, and it actually turned out better than I expected. So I went through these stickers that I got from Notebook Therapy and put some out. I thought these little foxes were super cute, and I tried to place them in a way that they were like looking at each other, like they're in love. There's a little heart that I put over his head. And then I just decided to decorate the outside with some like shrubbery, I guess you would call it, some foliage, some leaves, you know, fun stuff. I definitely love these sets that you can get from Notebook Therapy because it's like all of the sheets are cohesive yet a little bit different. I will definitely be buying more from them whenever I work through these. I've been wanting to use these succulent stickers for the longest time and just couldn't really set up anything to actually use them, but luckily I was able to put some in here. This one is like a teeny tiny little mushroom house, so it's like you don't catch what it is at first until you pay closer attention, which is what I loved about it. I think teeny tiny little mushroom houses are really cute. The other one is like succulents inside of a mug or like a little pail. So I just wanted to add those cute little details at the end. And then just trimming some of that stuff off. Making sure everything lays nice and flat the way I want it to. I was thinking if I wanted to add more stickers or not, and I decided that everything was good the way it was, and I didn't really want to overdo it this month and add too many details. So I just wrote in a white gel pen at the top, April stats. Pretty basic stuff, and called it good. And basically my plan is to either print out or draw out the graphs and the data and just kind of hide them along the wall, the fence, all of that. So you can kind of see how the doors work. They hide the little foxes back there. I wanted to find a place to put my TBR or my to be read list, so I just grabbed an old newspaper. I always keep newspaper scraps around, and I decided to glue it onto the door as if it were like a scroll posted on the outside of this like castle door. And so on that little scroll I wrote, hear ye, thine April TBR, and then I kind of crinkled it so that it would look like old-timey, I guess. That was like the aesthetic I was going for. So that's it. There's January's, there's February's, there's March, and I still have to fill in the stats for March. And now I have April's all set up. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks. I'll do one last flip through for you guys, just so you can get a nice slow motion appreciation for this Bujo that I've spent so much time on. I was actually pretty happy with the way this turned out, even though it was simple and didn't take that long. It's not the best, but I love it. Let me know what you think in the comments.